62. And Isaac came from the way of the well Muharai, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field at the evening tide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camel were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted up the candle. For she had said unto the servant, what man is this that walketh in the field to meet us? And the servant had said, it is my master. Therefore she took a veil and covered herself.
So right here we see the first thing Rebekah did, she showed respect unto Isaac. She covered her face because she know that this is the man that the servant came to bring her back to him. So when you go way back in the other part of the story, in the beginning of the story, where Abraham had told that servant to go find Isaac a wife, that servant, he prayed, he said, the God of Abraham, grant me to make sure we find basically a godly woman for Isaac. Someone that's going to be humble and respectful. And the Most High God laid it straight into the spirit of Rebekah to be that person. So when you look right here, when she saw Isaac, she jumped off the horse and she covered her face in sign of respect. Jumped down, so where you start at?
Verse 67.
Read on.
Verse 67. And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent, and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death.
So this right here, this be a good little cartoon story. Because this right here almost like first love. Because they never saw each other, but there was love at first sight. But right here, they got married. He took her to her mother and introduced her to his mother. So when you jump over to chapter 25, start at verse 19, you will find out the age, how old Isaac was.
Book Genesis chapter 25 and verse 19. And these are the generation of Isaac, Abraham's son. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old. And Isaac was 40 years old.
40 years old. So where they get him being a young man? That don't make no sense. That's why I said, when people start talking, the best is don't even question it. Just say, okay then, and go back and do your own research. Because people will mislead you. And I heard this right here from a brother that's supposed to be in the truth. And I'm like, wow, what Bible you reading from? Where you getting your study from? But every time you talk to them, guess what they say? Well, in the Hebrew language, okay, there we go. There we go. Stick with the word. Stick with the scripture. Because the Bible ain't going to change. And ain't no way even you go to Hebrew, that can't change that much right there. It literally tell you how old he was. 40 years old. So from there, once again, like I said, we were touching on marriage because the stuff that we did not learn in marriage. Coming up as a child. Our foremothers now, from the 60s and 70s, they didn't really know the whole true meaning of marriage. The marriage started to fall away from the black community, also the Spanish community, but in some form, you still see that kind of hold in just a little bit in the Spanish, in the Native American community. The majority, the black community, marriage rate is, you might say, is really not fine in the black community no more. All you see is a bunch of single homes. Mother raising the kids by themselves, daddies on the street being a bunch of simps. That's all you see. And the other nations sitting back and they laugh at us. Because they all got in their mind, yeah, they're all gonna come to us for help. But I was watching a TV show today on my way coming to class. The girl, Cardi B, she been out there had some kind of interview. And she told the man, you know, her mama and daddy split up when she was about 13 years old. So the man asked, he said, so how you felt about that? He said, you know what, in kind of way, I was kind of happy they split up because now, since my daddy was in the house no more, I had a little bit more freedom. I said, so this right here proves what we saying. If there ain't no man in the house, these children think they can run over the woman. They do what they want to do. That falls right back again to Isaiah 3 and 60, something like that, when children gonna be their person.
Yeah.
Yo, that go right back to that chapter.
Isaiah 3 and 12. 3 and 12.
Yeah, let's get that real
Book of
quick.
Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 12. As for my people, children are their oppressor, and woman rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee cause thee to err, and destroy the way of thy path.
And this will happen because at the end of the day, I don't care how you look at it, you need two parents in the house to raise a village. You need it. If you have daughters, that mother got to be in that household to be able to teach that girl on how to be a humble lady, how to respect her husband, how to dress, how to cook, how to clean. And also, there's nothing wrong in teaching your son also on how to cook and clean, because guess what? If he know how to cook and clean too, wherever wife he get, he gonna make sure she got that same concept. That kill me right here. People start to say, oh, man don't gotta learn how to cook and clean. That's what the woman's job is. Where you hear that from? What planet you came from? Because people gotta realize this one thing. God forbid, say your wife should die, and you don't know how to cook or clean. What help that gonna help you? What benefit that gonna be for you? You gonna run back on the mama house? No, you gotta learn how to stand up to be a man and learn how to take care of that yourself. That's the same thing for the woman. If you can't understand on how to say, to get a job and help this man maintain this bill, and know how to balance this bill off, if this man should die, where that gonna lead you at? Now you're gonna be looking for a deadbeat or a sugar daddy trying to help take care of you. Cause your mind calm. That was if people take things in the Bible and flip it just to benefit their own self. We teach on that concept. Matter of fact, give me that picture. The judge denied DMS fiance. I saw this on Facebook and I thought that was kind of neat. That my class about marriage, and we try to teach people and let them know that you have to get a license so your loved ones to die. Guess what? You got something to cover you. But if you just shacking up and you not being married, you ain't got no paperwork. Whoever this person was married to before, guess what? They gonna reap all that, and you ain't gonna get nothing.
Okay. A judge denies DMX fiance Desiree Lindstrom, who lived as a common law wife.
Common law wife. That's the big mistake right there. Common law is the same thing for shacking up. Read.
The right to file or reap any benefit as a legal wife.
As a what?
As a legal wife.
So the land of this place, you're not a legal wife or you don't have papers. Read.
As his family petitioned to get a hold of his estate, she will get nothing after standing beside him 8+ years.
How many years?
8+ years.
So she been standing beside this man for over 8 years, being with him. They probably already built stuff together. For all we know, he probably put it in his name because he the one with the financial fund. But you ain't got no paper. Now his family gonna come along the way and take everything that y'all built together. And you can't say, oh, I'm gonna get a lawyer to fight it because you probably ain't even got no money. And the carnal mind person, I bet he don't even got a will to make sure it go to who he want to go to.
Yeah.
So now his family fighting for something that he probably don't even agree with, but ain't nothing he can do because he dead. So now you left this woman you so said that you in love with nothing. That go for a lot of these sisters that so-called want to be in these multiple marriage. Guess what? When this man died, you ain't getting nothing. None of you. The state gonna take that if he ain't got no family member. Read on.
DMX did not have a will.
See what I'm saying?
And his next and final album will be coming out soon.
And you know he gonna make millions of dollars on that because a lot of people gonna run and try to get it. And guess what she gonna get? Zero. That's a hurtful feeling. Because why? You listen to these brothers tell you, oh, I don't want to get no paper. No, you know, you be good, you be taken care of. No, you ain't. If a guy can't though he can't pay a paper and say that you his wife, why would you stick around with this person? Leave him.
This is the fate of a ride or die.
Ride or die. That's all he had. Read.
No real man or woman should be satisfied with just shacking up with their mate.
Again, read that again.
No real man or woman should be satisfied with just shacking up with their mate.
If you're a real man or a real woman, you should not be comfortable in saying we just roommates. You just my partner, because that's the new term they use now.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
That's what they use. Read.
So for those who like to say marriage is just a piece of paper, or why get married? It feels like we're married already.
I mean, how many of y'all already heard that so many times? And brothers will use that line quickly when they know they don't want to be tied down to you. Especially those sisters who jump around from man to man. And when you hear a brother tell you that, it's because of the simple fact, he really don't want you to be his wife because of your reputation. But you good enough for him to sleep with, but you ain't good enough for him to marry you. That's sad. Because at the end of the day, there's another article I meant to pour about it, didn't, and I know y'all probably heard it. They said when you want to find gold, you got to dig deep into the earth, underneath the rocks, to get that gold. When you want diamonds, you got to dig deep into the ground just to be able to get that diamond. And then once you get the material, this gold and this diamond, you got to take your time and you got to clean it off to get the dirt and all that stuff off to see the perfection of it. So why would you, as a woman, that God made you to be so perfect, lie yourself to be an easy target to sit on top of the earth to grab? If you a woman, it should be hard for a man to even find a woman like you. That's the mindset y'all women should want. When a man walk past you, the only thing he should be paranoid, well, she got that serious look on her face. She dressed modest, so I know I can't step to her like that. Because why? Now he's not looking at your outer appearance, he's trying to read your mind. But if you know you're a type of woman that you don't got no common sense in your mind, don't even open your mouth to be like, until you learn common sense. Because some people won't pick up on that. Nah, I'll pass. So that's things that our sisters have to build and grow up on. Read.
This is why when you are not married, there's several spiritual benefits that miss as well.
I like that what he said right there. Several spiritual benefits. And a lot of people don't see that in marriage. This marriage that really is the same concept of the kingdom. When you see that you can build a perfect marriage between a man and a woman, and you know they're going to be ups and downs in it, but y'all figure out a way how to work y'all issues out to make that marriage work, that's a powerful thing that nobody can break. That's why the Bible says, when God put two together, let no man put asunder. Because you go into this marriage the right way, under the banner of God, you ain't got to worry about nobody coming in there like that. You ain't got to worry about no woman trying to sneak up on your man and your man stumble and fall. You ain't got to worry about no man trying to holler at your wife when you're not around, because both of y'all carry y'all stuff in the banner of Christ. So people gonna be very careful on how they speak to you. They're not saying that Satan ain't gonna try to send somebody your way to tempt you, but whoever come your way, they gonna have to make sure they be on their P's and Q's. Because as long as you stay in the word of God, ain't nothing gonna rock you off the boat. Really?
God loves marriage.
He love what?
God loves marriage.
What chapter we find that in, ladies?
Oh, crickets.
Y'all know we're gonna get y'all that one. Y'all better not disappoint me. That was the first part of the lesson too. First part of the class. When we started. What do the Bible say about marriage? The letter start with an H. Hebrew what? There you go. Oh my gosh. Y'all gonna make this class longer? I'm gonna start it all back over. Read.
God loves marriage. God is pleased with godly commitment.
Well, what?
God is pleased with godly commitments.
Godly commitment. Not self-commitment. Not on how I feel, but godly commitment. Meaning everything you do is going to be according to the scriptures. It's not going to be of your own fine thoughts.
It is a man's duty to always be in position to care for his wife.
Read that again.
It is a man's duty to always be in position to care for his wife.
Ladies, y'all understand that? Read it again.
It is a man's duty to always be in position to care for his wife.
Brothers, y'all understand that? So for a man to take a wife, he got to understand that's his duty. If a man don't have his home set up and he don't have things in order, you're not going to be able to take care of no woman. Part of that is making sure that y'all got papers showing that y'all married. So when you leave this place, you don't got to worry about if my wife going to be taken care of or my children going to have something. Because why? You already take care of that. That goes to another issue in the black community, life insurance. Black people do not like to get life insurance. You think you're going to live forever? No, you're going to die. And guess what? If you in debt, whatever debt you got, it's going to straight it down to that person. So now you dead, you sleeping, and he's struggling. Or she's struggling. You got to make sure you got life insurance. And you got to make sure you also got more of your kids, because kids die now too. How do you think some of these white folks get rich? Because they get high life insurance. And they don't take time to bury you. Pour the blood, bury the next day. They don't take time. Oh yeah, I forgot. They don't even go all to the ground. They put you right in the oven and cremate you.
Just for a few dollars.
So all that money they get, guess what? My friend, they had a woman sit up on here, glory about how her husband died, and she had a necklace that she spent so much money on. My friend was a preacher, a woman preacher, a preacher. Had I forgot how many, I know it was up in the millions. A gold necklace she had. Told me, yeah, I got this right here after my husband died. Died. I got this, yeah, a black woman. And then I asked her, why would you glorify for the necklace you spent so much money on and your husband just died? That show you the mindset. She cares, she happy he dead. That was that show. Read on.
Whether separation, divorce, death, etc.
So we already know separation, divorce, that's a no-no, because the Bible don't believe in that. The only time a man can divorce a woman is when she do what, ladies? Commit adultery. That's the only time a man can get a divorce. Is he responsible to take care of you after that? No, you broke the vow.
Getting married is just the beginning. Common law ain't common sense. See less.
Read that last part again.
Getting married is just the beginning.
That's just the beginning. Every time when anyone get married, just know this is the beginning of your empire. Now you're about to build a village. That's the first step, is saying I do and you got every paper. Read.
Common law ain't common sense.
And that made perfect sense right there. Could they prove right there? You ain't got no paper, that means you ain't got no common sense. Cause now you're gonna be struggling. So from there, let's get Genesis 29, 'cause I was reading this today, matter of fact.
The book Genesis, chapter 29 and verse 16. And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
So, it's a Leah was tender-eyed. Meaning she was kind of very hard to really look at. You wouldn't look at her like that. Because she was a very beautiful lady. But Rachel, she was a very beautiful woman. Somebody who you don't mind looking upon like, wow. Yeah. I would make her my wife. Yeah, she was the devil. She had a lot of evil ways, and that's why the Bible said don't go off a woman beauty. Because it will deceive you, and you will be living in hell the rest of your life. But Leah, you know, when I first came into the church, you know what this brother told me about Leah? They like, no, Leah was a very beautiful woman. She just had, you know, kind of like a lazy eye. I'm like, oh, that what that mean? But as you read, when you read on, it said that Rachel was a beautiful woman. So that means Leah was a beautiful. Bro, you lied to me. Leah was exactly how she looked. But, you know, people say that when you sit back and look over at daylight and you see the woman that they dating, well, I understand why you say what you say. Rita.
Verse 18. And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve thee 7 years for Rachel, the younger daughter.
So Jacob loved Rachel so much that he said, man, I will work 7 years for this woman. Read on, I want y'all to catch something.
And Laban said, it is better that I give her to thee than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days.
About what?
They seemed unto him but a few days for the love he had to her.
So I catch this part in verse 20. And I was saying, y'all ladies gotta look at that. This brother loved this woman so much that he said 7 years felt like a few days. So, you know, when you read it, that you gotta picture this. Y'all woman, when y'all proving a brother, if a brother can't hold out and start to want to have sex with you for that long, that means this brother really care about you. But if this brother can't hold because he burning, because he just want the goods, you gotta look at that. Because in that whole period of time, he had enough time to really prove Rachel, to really find out what Rachel was all about. And I don't know why he missed it and found out she was a thief. But, you know, he loved Rachel so much that he said 7 years felt like a few days. Read on.
Verse 21. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her. And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for an handmaid.
So you can tell they were wealthy off because she had a helpmate. I mean, a handmaid to do what she need to do, for she can tell her what she need to be done. Like a maid. If I want you to go ahead and cook my husband some food, run my bath water while you up there. Read.
And it came to pass that in the morning,
You know what? And they come think about that too. This also showing for the woman, when you come into the marriage, make sure you got something too. Don't come into marriage all broken and want this man to help build you all the way back up. No, you gotta make sure that you got something good established for yourself as well to bring to the table. Read.
and it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah, and he said to Laban, what is this thou hast done unto me?
Really?
Did not I serve with thee for Rachel? Wherefore then hast thou beguiled me?
So Jacob was mad. You mother, I asked for this, but let's see what the custom was. Read.
And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
So the custom was the older child had to get married first before the young child get married. So he like, I can tell in his mind part, why you tell me this before? I could have just hold off until somebody married her to win. But the Most High God had all this already set up. Read.
Fulfill her weeks, and we will give thee this also for the service which thou shalt serve with me yet 7 other years.
So Jacob had to work 7 more years just to get Rachel. And he said, you know what, I love that woman so much, I'm going to do that. How much y'all ladies in here want to have a man that literally will go over and above just to make you his wife? That's the type of man y'all ladies so want. This man will make sure that when he proving you and you proving him, if you say, I don't think I'm ready not yet, let's wait a little longer. Let's see when he do that. Or he thought, man, we already proved each other, we good, we can make this work, what I'm saying, ain't gonna be trouble in the flesh and start making all kind of excuses. You know what he after. He just want the goods. Yeah, that's all he want. So what you gotta do, say, you know what? I think our proving stage should probably about over with. Because I already see right now, the least little thing I do, you gonna get pissed off. You gonna get mad. Because why? You didn't really prove me like you supposed to. Read.
Verse 28, and Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel his daughter to wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah.
So when you see that, when they prove each other, that lets you see right here, when they say he also went into her, meaning when they sealed that marriage, after the wedding, then they went in and had relation with each other. Because they had to have a token to show of that marriage. Give me Deuteronomy 22 and 13. Let's find out with the custom to show proof to make sure that she was a virgin. So you got brothers now and sisters right now to show you how destroyed we are as a people. You would have brothers literally say, oh, I don't want no virgin. No, I don't deal with no virgin. God, I got time that, all that Christian. And you also got a woman right now saying that I don't want no virgin man because you might not know what he's doing. Well, guess what? Or both of y'all virgin, both of you will know what you're doing. So guess what? At the end of the day, it's gonna be a wonderful day for both of you. Cause both of you gonna be new at it. You remember that movie Tyler Perry had when that dude and that girl, they were both virgins, they got married and they moved into the city? What's the name of that movie?
Temptation.
Yeah, I think that was Temptation, that's what it was. And they moved into the city, and the brother, he was still being faithful to his wife. But he knows how his wife started to change, because guess what she started doing? She started listening to people tell, oh, you don't do that? Y'all don't do this? Y'all don't do foreplay? And she started, imagining different stuff, and her boss wanted her to show her looks off and dress a certain way for they could be able to get this client that had a lot of money to help build their business. So the client he was a hoe that he was, because he was doing all the workers like that, and he finally got her, and he betrayed her mind into having sex with him. And right when she did what she did, she started really giving her husband the cold shoulder and all that, because she was so happy in what she felt at that moment. He wasn't giving that, but guess what happened? Her husband was struggling, trying to maintain to keep them up financially, all that, while he was building to get his career up to the level he needed to be at. She don't want that. She ready to let the world out here influence her and believing this is what I want. So make the long story short, she turned out and slept with that dude and got AIDS. First time stepping out and got AIDS. So guess what happened? Judgment came to her quickly. So her husband left her, but he still loved her, but he had to leave her alone. And he met and married someone else. His business took off. He been successful after that. And guess what? She was looking on the outside, looking in, looking dumb. Because he wasn't going to take her back because you got HIV. He don't want you no more. And then on call, she didn't have it. The Bible really said a man not supposed to take you back after you already sleep with another man. You are defiled. So that's why I said that little one time of pleasure, it might get you caught up.
Lifetime of pain.
Yeah. Read on.
The book Deuteronomy chapter 22 and verse 13. If any man take a wife and go in unto her and hate her, and give occasional speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid.
So this brother saying that this woman was not no virgin because she already broke her vow. So the only way you can show proof, you have to have something to show proof that you was a virgin. That's the same thing what happened to DMS wife when you look at it. When he died, she had no proof to prove that that was her husband. So now, guess what? She got no fighting case. That got straight thrown out the courtroom. So right here, this brother is trying to lie on this sister. So now the father and the mother got proof that they thought it was a virgin. So read on.
Verse 15. Then shall the father of the damsel and her mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel virginity unto the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel father shall say unto the elders, I gave my daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her. And lo, he had given occasion of speech against her.
False accusation throughout the whole town about, oh, this, she this, and she that. And you see brothers do that today to a lot of sisters. After he had slept with you, he scandalized your name. But guess what? You ain't been no virgin, he slept with you anyway. So now you cause your own name to be scandalized out in the street because you didn't take yourself serious enough to make sure you stick with one man. Now you got a reputation, you got a name throughout the whole town. Read.
Saying, I found not thy daughter a maid. And yet these are the tokens of my daughter's virginity.
So now the father brings proof to the elders that no, my daughter was a virgin because this is the token that show proof that she is. Read.
And they shall spread the cloth before the elders of the city.
So now they took the white sheet, this white cloth, and they spread it before the elders of the city. Read.
And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him.
So now, when they got the proof to show that this brother was a liar, and he scandalized this woman's name and the family, now they're going to chastise him. Now, a lot of people have man, that ain't nothing. He's still scandalized my name. Y'all don't know the custom of the chastisement, how they did back then. There was a brother that went over there a couple years back, and he did something, and he had to get, I think it was like 15 slash or something like that on the back. These whips that when they chastise these people with, 2 hits, it will bust your skin open. Yeah, it was like a Cadillac tail. And it was showing, this brother, I think this brother had to get about like 10 or 15 hit over there. Some people don't make it out there, they pass out. Because it literally busts your skin open, and once your skin busts open like that, your scar will be on your body for the rest of your life. Read on.
Verse 19. And they shall immerse him in 100 shekels of silver.
So now he got to turn back around and pay that father for scandalizing his daughter's name. Read.
And give them unto the father of the damsel, because he had brought up an evil name upon a virgin of Israel, and she shall be his wife. He may not put her away all his days.
And then he can't put her away. So she turned out to start being the devil in the house and do whatever she wanted to do. He can't put her away. Because during this time, remember, Moses gave a written law of a man feel like there was anything wrong with a woman, he can put her away for any cause. But Christ had to correct that when he walked the scene. So in this dude's case, since you told that lie, you can't put that woman away. She can walk around with this knot and burger hang on her nose and throw them up against your face. Ain't nothing you can do. You got to stick with her. But the token of the virginity is a white sheet. And when they go into each other after the marriage and have relation, the blood will show up on the white sheet. And that's what the token is sealing that that's my wife. She was a virgin. I saw on Facebook, Edomite were doing that a couple weeks ago, showing the token of their daughter virginity with blood. I thought that was so nasty. I'll tell you a lot. But they were doing that stuff. So Esau and them, they're reading the Bible and they try to act like that's their custom. No, y'all taking our custom. That's what we did. And y'all started to just merge it in like y'all was doing that. Y'all wasn't doing that crap. Y'all know how y'all was getting down, jumping off trees. So right here, let's see what happened if that brother was telling the truth. Let's see what would happen to that sister. Now remember now, that's why I say y'all sister, back then in the Bible days, y'all better thank God for grace and mercy right now. Because this is going to come back. Read.
Verse 20. But if this thing be true, and the token of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of her father's house, and the man of the city shall stone her with stone that she die.
So the woman got stoned to death. If she would find out that she was a liar, and you know you wasn't over, you was sleeping around, you get put to death. Now, you know, in some cases right there, sometimes you got to keep it 100. And me, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it 100. Because I'm a visualized person. Just imagine a sister really is a virgin, but the brother ain't handcuffed. Ain't nothing show up on the token. That's that brother's fault. Because he couldn't do nothing. But keep it on a serious tip. Another thing probably could have happened. You know how sometimes mamas and grandmamas, they be cleaning up and they ain't throwing stuff away? Now just imagine if that would happen. You don't got that proof to show. Now you're going to end up getting stoned to death. because you don't got that record. That's messed up right there. So back then, you better make sure you hold on to that stuff. But that show you another thing too, how serious those brothers and sisters back then took marriage. That kind of stuff like that, they make sure they hold on to that for life. These days and time now, it shows you that people don't take marriage serious. They take it for a game, they take it for a joke. From there, let's go ahead and give me Sirach 26 and 7. So in this case right here, we're about to get into the woman having an evil wife. Y'all women don't want to make yourself to be a type of woman that a man hate because he even married you, or when a man trying to prove you just an evil type of person and you just got that bitter hatred about yourself. You ever been around females that just seem like they got a hatred all the time, or just a mean demeanor on their face? So you really don't know how to take that person, and you're like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with that person. But when you really get to talk to that person, you come to find out they really is a nice person, but they demeanor to give them that evil look. Read.
And the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 7. An evil wife is a yoke shaken to and fro. He that had hold of her is as though he held a scorpion.
And this go for these brothers who take on wife that is that evil person. You did not take the time to prove that sister to really get to know that sister. This is the type of sister that will go off the gun on any little thing. She don't want to be corrected. She don't want to be chastised for what she's doing or nothing. She's just that type of woman that always got to run off at the mouth to make her case. That's an evil woman. The Bible says she's just like a what?
An evil wife is a yoke unshaken, to and fro. He that had hold of her is as though she held a scorpion.
So you know you hold a scorpion, they do what? They bite you. And most likely, you will most likely drop dead. Because of the poison that they carry in them. So the Bible tells you, brothers, if you get a wife like this, eventually she's going to kill you. You're going to die. Because this is all you hear all the time. Nothing you can do can satisfy or please this woman. She's just an evil woman. Even when she gets to the point and get up in age and she already killed you off, she's just going to be an evil woman sitting around the house. The cats don't even like to come around to the house. That's how evil she is. Read.
Verse 8. A drunken woman and a gatter abroad causes great anger, and she will not cover her own shame.
And that's one thing, the word God, that go into like somebody who like to go back and forth, travel all over the place. Yeah. But a drunken woman, that's the disgusting thing to even look at a woman. Even, I'm going to tell you straight up, before I even came into the truth, of a woman drunk, don't even be up in my face. I don't even like to conversate with you. Because that's a completely turn off. Your breath smell like alcohol. You talk, y'all understand what you're saying. You lean on the side like you about to fall. That is not pretty. That's ugly. That's a big turn off. But you got some brothers like that. I'm going to give you brothers an insight. Mess around with a drunk woman like that, it can cause you to get locked up. What I mean? Because you got a sister would say, I didn't know what I was doing, and he took advantage of me. He knew I was drunk, and he lay with me. That's how you see a lot of brothers get locked up for that. That's why me back then, when I was even in the world, I was like, you drunk, you got to go. Go home. I can't fool with you. Because ain't nothing pretty about that. Not at all. Read.
Verse 9. The whoredom of a woman may be known in her haughty looks and eyelids.
So this part, give me Proverbs 21 and 4. What would you got? Give me Proverbs 21 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 4. And high look, and a proud heart, and a plowing of the wicked is sin.
So a high look, going right back into the haughty look. If you always about your looks, you know that's a sin. Read Proverbs again.
The book of Proverbs chapter 21 and verse 4. And high look, and a proud heart, and the plowing of the wicked is sin.
The Bible said that is sin. So when you see a lot of sisters always about their looks, always gonna be about look, and all this kind of stuff, the Bible said that's sin. Go to Proverbs 7 and 10.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn.
That goes right back to the old woman who always about their look. Most of the time you see women like that all fabricated about their look. You think they're going to be dressed and decent? No. Majority of the time you will see them, just go on TikTok. Go on Instagram. They always about their look, they dress inappropriate. They dress just like a harlot. Read that again.
She is loud and stubborn. Her feet abide not in her house.
So start at verse 10 again.
But Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 10. And behold, there met him a woman with the attire of an harlot and subtle of heart. She is loud and stubborn.
She's loud. There's another way how you can tell a woman is a harlot. Because you are all talking loud. The Bible said that's a harlot. Read that again, verse 11.
She is loud and stubborn.
And stubborn, you can't tell her nothing.
Sabrina Byron. That's for Byron.
Listen. Hey. Shut up. Be quiet. Listen.
What is that? That's the baby mama from hell. Byron. And it ain't gonna be no Maggie B.
Oh, no.
Byron.
Hey, shut the hell up. Sound like a siren. Come in here and sit. Shut up.
We see that when we on the street teaching. She always got a word to come back and she be loud when she talking because she want everybody to hear her talking. The Bible says she's a harlot. Moving the dog, getting started to move the head back and forth and all that stuff with those big eyelashes flapping around. Like keep on flapping, you about to lift off your feet. The Bible called these women right here a harlot. Back to Shara.
Proverbs chapter 7 and verse 12. Now is she without, now in the street, and lieth in wait at every corner.
And she wait at every corner. Everybody in the street know this woman. Everybody know who she is. What you like do? Hey, you know something? Oh yeah, she right around in the corner. Before you get around the corner, you hear her mouth. She can be on her porch, and she loud. The neighborhood know exactly who you looking for. And the Bible called these type of woman harlot. So you don't want to be called that. You got to learn how to tone your level of speech down. Tone how you dress yourself and how you carry yourself. Because you go back and then you ask anybody, what is the form of attire? How does she look? Most people say, oh, like a prostitute. So when you sit back and you look at your sisters now, oh, y'all say she dressed like a prostitute, but you say you just dressing sexy. What's the difference? There ain't no difference. Because both of y'all dress alike. Now, you ask this person, how do a godly woman dress? A lot of us say Auntie Mama style. That's not true. A godly woman is dressed with her cleavage covers and her dress comes past her knee. That's a godly woman. She cover herself up because she know what she worth. A sister who don't cover herself up, she do not know what she worth. Because at the end of the day, this is going to be the character of a godly woman and an ungodly woman. A man might offer her something, a godly woman best. No, I want way more than that to throw him off. Like that one that I saw, she said, I worth this right here. Meaning, oh, you want me, you got to marry me. But a worldly woman, you ask her, oh, I give you $1 million. Okay. That's all you worth, is $1 million? Do you know the concept of $1 million? You can blow that in less than probably a month or two. But that shows you the mindset of a godly woman and an ungodly woman. Because there should be, your answer should be, no money in the world can make me just give myself to you. If you want me, you gotta be with me for life. That's the only cost that you're gonna get. But for a lot of our sisters out here in this world today, money talk. Why do you think a lot of our sisters marry celebrity? Or better yet, why do you see a lot of our sisters go straight to drug dealers? Because drug dealers get their money quick. And a man that gotta work, he gotta work for his money before she can be able to receive the money. And our sisters being impatient, they don't want that. They want that fast money. So you got sisters, or you know people in that concept, it's best for y'all ladies to answer, the Bible says you so hard. You need to change that concept. You need to change your lifestyle. Because you're not going to find a truthful man, according to God's word, to marry you. Well, I'm glad you mentioned that, because one of my co-workers been telling me about that My Fan Page stuff. Yeah, there was a girl, he said, when you look at the girl, you would think she was up in age. You would think she probably was in her 20s. But she was, I think he said 13 or 14 years old. And she had my only fan page. And she opened up her account. They said this young girl they had on the, he said on the news thing. I forgot what news he was talking about. But he said she made $25 million in 1 month.
Mm-hmm.
She said so many people were popping up on her page just to see her nudity. And I said, that's sad. But when young women out here hear that, how much she made? For real? And then they start getting it on my page then. Now be lost and show you, go back to that class Wednesday I had. Don't let money be, what is that class?
What your life is all about.
Yeah, all about, yeah. Don't let your money be what your life all about. Because when you pay the money for everything, that means you saying money is worth more than me. And I will do whatever I got to do to receive that money. And that's sad. But you know, I think a couple people got busted and charged because she was a minor. But at the end of the day, guess what? She ain't even got charged for it. I think if they change the hands around and start charging both parties, I bet you a lot of that stuff probably stop. That's just like going back again. I know a lot of people gonna hate what I'm about to say. Judgment came on R. Kelly. He deserved the judgment. But at the end of the day, and I'm speaking on my own behalf, I don't care who don't like what I'm about to say. I feel as though he should have got charged, the mama should have got charged, the daddy, and the children. Because first and foremost, why in the world you got your child at a concert that time of night? No, what it was, y'all saw that Aaliyah got a career in it. So you know, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my daughter on a career. Let her be a singer. Your daughter can't even sing. You done prostitute your daughter. When the Bible tell you, don't prostitute thy daughter unless the land gonna go and hold her. And that's what we see. This land ain't nothing but straight hold 'em. You cannot, it's very hard, very few. You will find, I'm gonna just use this town, Anderson. Maybe 3 out of 100 maybe dressed modest. You look around this town, you see nothing but straight naked girls walking up and down these streets. It's to the point so bad that they go on a job with spantights on. How in the way you feel working and those stuff so close up on you and you sweating? I know I'm going long or something, but I gotta bring this up. I'll never forget, I was on a job, a gay dude. I'm sorry, I thought I said that one online. But that dude, he came on the job with makeup on and what do you call that stuff y'all leave around the eyeliner or whatever you call that stuff? What? And he got this ring on the job. Y'all might know what I'm talking about. I ain't gonna call his name out because I know you probably might be watching our line or whatever. Or you might come across it. But he got this ring on the job. And that junk got in his eye. He said, what? I can't see. I said, that what you get? That was exactly you get. You think I stopped my machine? No, I let that machine keep on running. Find your way out the door, bro. Because first, that judgment. Be a man, start shall be a woman. But I go back, you got sisters on the job that wear all these makeup on too. But people let their looks move them in a direction, and then they wonder why going back to the class. Be yourself. Ain't nobody tell you dress homie, all right. Dress yourself up, make yourself look nice, but be yourself. Don't let that makeup and all this other stuff make you, and when this man look at you, you ain't the person who you're supposed to be. Like a lot of stuff you see on Facebook. I think that should be a lawsuit. Because that junk don't make no sense. That's witchcraft. Where we at? Go back to Sirach, chapter 26. And I'm going to jump over a couple of these verses right here. Give me verse 13.
And the apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 13.
Oh, no, here's verse 12. I want 12.
And verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he had found a fountain, and drank of every water near her, by every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow.
So, ladies, I want to see if y'all pick up on this. Because y'all going to have a project coming up soon, and I want to see if y'all can pick up on this concept. Read that slow one more time for the ladies.
Verse 12. She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler.
Pause. What do that mean? Yeah, what type of nasty they talking about here?
DJ.
The what? Oh. That's a good one, old school. But that's right. Just 1 minute, this woman will open her mouth on every man rod. And it would look something like this. Give me that picture of woman milk and woman mouth. That's her. That's a lot of our sisters right there. She'll open her mouth on every little rod. Read on.
When he had found a fountain, and drank of every water near her, by every hedge will she sit down, and open her quiver against every arrow.
I couldn't find a picture of that, so I wasn't even trying to look for on that. And then said that she will open her leg to every arrow. Meaning she will open her leg up to every rod. This woman fall back to what we just read in Proverbs 7. This woman is a harlot. She's not a godly woman. She will open her mouth to everybody. She can open her mouth to talk about, oh yeah, I can do it good. You nasty. You know, that's kind of made me thought about something. I'm like, dog. So they were doing foreplay way back then. Foreplay was way back then. That's why they say it's nothing new under the sun.
Everybody said it.
But that one go right back to Romans 15:4. The day that is written aforetime is written for our learning. What we got to do is take our time and go through the Bible and find out what we should not be doing. But you got a lot of people who go in the Bible and say, yes, yeah, we can do this and we can do that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. No, somebody that fit in the Bible, because God was not pleasing of, and he's trying to tell, don't do it. So you got to know how to decipher this whole stuff up to know which way you need to be going to help you throughout this walk. And right now, it's helping y'all ladies out on how to prove a man and how you need to be as a woman to make sure you stay a godly woman and pleasing your husband. Once again, like I said, you know, I heard a preacher say this right here. He said, any woman in here that was not married and you had kids, you's a hoe. And a lot of women got offended about that. But when you sit back and you examine the situation where he's coming from, why would you get mad? Because it's true. Because the Bible said what? You should be married before you have children. Because when you have the children without being married, your child become a bastard. So at the end of the day, a lot of people get offended because, you know, you got mamas and grandmas sitting up in there and they fall in that category. But it's really to build you up. The word of God is going to cut you and make you feel a certain way. But it also going to make you a better person, make you strong and say, you know what? I'll make sure that generation, my granddaughter don't be like ours. But all praise to the Most High God that Christ came and he gave us that second chance in repentance. So now you went through your trials and tribulations, what you had to go through. So now take it and change it. And move in the right direction where God wants to go. That's just like a bunch of the dudes. Y'all was all, you hold too. Jumping from bed to bed. You no good too. Hey. Read on.
Verse 13. The grace of a wife delighted her husband, and her discretion will fatten his bone. A solid and loving woman is a gift of the Lord.
It's a what?
Is a gift of the Lord.
A solid and loving woman is a gift of God. Meaning that goes from the opposite of proverb. The loudmouth woman is not a gift. She's a curse. A solid woman is the gift from God. Because why? She know how to humble herself. She know how to literally follow with the guidelines set up. You ain't got to worry about who going back and forth with you. Especially when y'all supposed to go according to the Bible. But it just go back to a lot of the women, they don't like to take correction. They don't like to admit that they're wrong. And that go way back to our foremother Eve. Because she would have only listened to her husband, y'all would have been in the predicament y'all in right now. We would have been in the predicament of our forefather Adam with a check come behind, and we would have to go through all this. But since both of them dropped the gun, now we are suffering for what they did. And we do worse than them. Read.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Read that part again.
And there is nothing so much worth as a mind well instructed.
Well instructed. When you got both of y'all on the same concept, and both of y'all trying to build something together, and both of y'all is keeping these laws and the commandment, and anybody that come in your house, you stand on the words of God to make sure that your house will be defiled, that's a peaceful marriage. But when you go and concentrate against what your husband said, that's a problem. it's going to be a big problem in the house. So that marriage ain't going to be working like it's supposed to. Because why? You want to build things your own way instead of letting your mind be after your husband's mind. When the Bible says your mind must be after who mind? Your husband. God said your mind must be after God's mind, and you hear a lot of women say that. My mind is after God. I'm going to do what God tells me to do. No, God said do what your husband said do.
I'm married to God.
Oh, I'm married to God. No, you ain't. God said you married to him. I give him to you. So you got to answer unto him. If you don't respect him, you so don't really going to respect me. Because his mind would be after my mind. So if the household is not sitting around Christ, something's going to fall. Read.
Verse 15. A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace, and her continent mind cannot be valued.
Read that again. I just love that one.
A shamefaced and faithful woman is a double grace.
God said that's a double grace. If you got a woman like that, brother, you are blessed. What are you doing by making the Most High God bless you with a woman like that? That's the type of woman, that's the type of wife brothers, a godly man want. I'm not going to say a bum, because he don't want a godly woman like that. He want a woman that's going to bite back, fight back. Bump the chest with you. Bro, you in the same level, boy, what you talking about? And you got brothers, they like that stuff. No, read.
And her continent mind cannot be valued. Still in the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
So the Bible says a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. So when you woman realize that this man is beating you, that means you wicked. And that's why you got that type of man. Brother, same thing. If you realize this woman do not want to respect you, she do not listen to what you tell her to do, meaning you that type of brother can't take correction. So the Most High gonna put y'all two together. If this brother is the type of brother who like to sleep around with woman to woman, most likely that means you a sister that just sleep from man to man. The Bible, how you used to say that? The two of a kind all click together?
Every beast is
Every beast exalts to their own kind. A hoe gonna exalt to a hoe. A beater is gonna go the same way. And to clear it up to the point where I'm trying to say about, when you get involved with a man that beat on you and you can't leave that situation, it's because the simple fact you grew up in a household seeing the same thing. In your mind, you thinking that's okay. Or you got a low self-esteem about yourself thinking, I can't do no better than what I already got. Those are the type of woman you see stay in a relationship like that. That's why the Bible said a wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man. Read.
But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
But if this brother fear God, that's the type of woman he gonna get. He gonna get a godly woman. Because why? This brother, he fear God. You also fear God. So when you prove this brother, you want to make sure, guess what? This brother is staying in his scriptures. If you know this brother do not stay in his scriptures, then what you gonna do? You gonna keep on staying with this brother, or you gonna try to move on? You're gonna move on, hope. Because it shows you this brother do not fear God. He don't love God like that. He's not trying to learn more as he can learn to be able to teach you. Because who's supposed to teach you? Your husband. So if he's not learning nothing and he's not teaching you nothing, how are you going to understand or how are you going to grow? So when the correction comes to you, it's going to make you look dumb because why? He ain't teaching you.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3 and verse 16. Unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception. And sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. And thy desire shall be to thy husband, and he shall rule over them.
You should do what?
He shall rule over thee.
Meaning that man was to rule over you. Like Brother Eli was saying, any question you have any issue, you supposed to ask your husband. Once you say I do, and that you got a law over your life, that's what you go to for all things. Now he can't understand the situation of the scripture, then it's his job to come to the leaders and get understanding and bring it back to you. But for any woman, if you know you married and you talk over and, well, what about this and asking this? At the end of the day, to be honest with you, you out of line. You disrespect your husband. And you see that especially all day in the Christian church.
I'm a
Do what pastor said. You saw it all the time in Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, pastor said this. Well, pastor ain't in my damn house.
Man, yeah, I even heard now in the Israelite camps, you got brothers that teach their wives and tell their wife, they don't listen to her until the bishop actually tells them.
Yep, somebody else got to bring out data to believe.
Wow, you disrespectful son of a devil.
Mm-hmm. But that goes back to what you read. Go back to Sirach.
Chapter 26 and verse 23. A wicked woman is given as a portion to a wicked man.
I rest my case.
That's what it gives to. Because you wicked and she wicked. Read.
But a godly woman is given to him that feareth the Lord.
Read.
A dishonest woman containeth shame, but an honest woman will reverence her husband.
Where we just read that at? Ladies, where we just read that at? 1 Corinthians. We just read that. So the best is write that down beside your note. That's another different precept you get put with that. So in the Bible is repeating the same thing over. It's a shame to ask another man question when your husband is supposed to be in the truth or in the faith as well.
Right there.
Read.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
Read that again.
A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog.
So God says this woman's a dog. When you disrespect your husband like that, the Bible says you will be counted as a dog. Did I say that?
That's in the Bible, man.
The Bible said that. I'm just reading. It's already written. If the shoe don't fit, don't worry about it. But if it fit, change it. That's all you can do. Read.
But she that is shamefaced will fear the Lord.
Well, you that woman that is shamefaced, it means you will do what the Bible said do. You will be what?
Will fear the Lord.
You will fear the Lord. Because why? You're going to respect your husband. You're going to respect his decision. Or you feel like your husband might not be right, you have that conversation with him. My Lord, if you on my point check on that, because for some of my spirit, this ain't clicking right with that. And if he's a godly man, he shouldn't look at that as being disrespectful. He should look at it and say, well, you know what? In his mind, let me go ahead and make sure I get the right understanding. Because at the end of the day, you shouldn't want to lead your wife in the wrong direction.
There you go.
So you want to make sure you get the right understanding before you open your garbage mouth. But you got some brother, you don't know what you're talking about, I'm over you. Don't say, I'm not right. And you might just be wrong.
That's it, because they don't.
Just shut the hell up and ask some questions.
They just don't know. That's why they say that.
That's that pride spirit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm always right. No, you ain't always right. We all ain't always right. This is a big book. You can read one chapter, and you can read it again and come up with something totally different. But it's still all going to line up to the same thing. Because when you read in Job, they say the words are double in meanings. Read.
Verse 26. A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
Read that again. I want y'all ladies to listen to that very closely.
A woman that honoreth her husband shall be judged wise of all.
She gonna be judged wise of all. Meaning, when that day come and you respecting your husband, that's how you gonna make it into the kingdom. But if you a disrespectful woman, you don't honor your husband, you disrespect the day that he said do, you ain't gonna make it into the kingdom. Because why? If you can't respect this man who God set before you, you cannot respect God. Simple as that. God don't got time to deal with y'all woman problem. That's why he leave y'all problem to your husband. For we to deal with that situation. Because God got to step in and deal with the situation. Why you think God made y'all punishment harder than the man was? Because y'all should have known y'all place.
But she that dishonoreth him in her pride shall be counted ungodly of all.
Because she's ungodly. And we all know an ungodly person ain't going to make it into the kingdom. Period. Read.
A loud crying woman and a skull shall be sought out to drive away the enemies.
The only thing you good for is putting you on the phone to get rid of the bill collector. That's what you good for.
Y'all call my goddamn out.
That's what you exactly good for. Put her on the phone. She get rid of him real quick. From there, let me get 1 Peter 3 and 5.
1 Peter chapter 3 and verse 5. For after this manner in the old time, the holy woman also, who trusted in God, adorned themselves, being in subjection unto their own husbands.
It says, for after the manner in the old time, the holy women also, who trust in God, they adorn themselves. These are holy women. They understand the respect how they should give unto their husband. Read.
Even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, whose daughter ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any amazement.
See, a lot of people read that and they read that part quick. Some brothers read it because they just want read it, they want to call him Lord, and they're wicked as hell. But look at the concept. It said, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. The part what you catch this right here. Whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well. You ain't no daughter of Sarah if you ain't keeping these laws and these commandments.
Damn, drop the mic. Do it. We need sound effects.
The Bible don't even recognize you as a daughter of Sarah. For a lot of people say that I'm a daughter of Sarah. No, you a wicked woman. You ain't no daughter of Sarah. Sarah took it to another level by calling Abraham the Lord. Because she honored her husband to that point. It go back and we say a while back. If your husband wants you to call him the Lord, you shouldn't hesitate in doing that. And you shouldn't be ashamed to do it in front of your family. Now, ain't nobody saying that's a commandment that you got to do. But if that's what your husband wants, that's what you do. But I don't know, no husband want their wife to call them nigga Tyrone. But, once again, I got to take that back. Because he's an ungodly man. A wicked woman give it to him, so, yeah, he might like that. But that key point right there I saw kind of make me look at that. When it said, daughter ye are, as long as ye do well, then you will be considered a daughter of Sarah. And that's kind of crazy because the Bible used Sarah instead of losing Eve.
You're right.
Because Eve was the first woman. But the Bible don't look at Eve as being the first woman. The Bible considers Sarah. Because Sarah was a humble woman.
A righteous example.
She listened to everything that Abraham taught her. That's why in the beginning the Bible said, he chose Abraham because he knew Abraham would rule and command his household. So when Abraham told Sarah what to do, Sarah in my back, she did it. Now, I'm not saying that there wasn't no problem in their little relationship back then, but she know her place. From there, let me get 1 Corinthians 7:28.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 28. But, and if thou married, thou hast not sinned. And if a virgin married, she had not sinned. Nevertheless, such shall have trouble in the flesh.
The Bible says, regardless of the situation, we're going to have trouble in the flesh. In your marriage, there's going to be trouble. Some woman and black women, you got to be 100% with yourself. Sometimes y'all just can't hush y'all mouth. Y'all got to have that last word to say. Even down to the godly woman. They got to have that last word to say until they realize, let me shut the H up before I get killed. But they're going to be trouble in the flesh.
Like, shalom.
Tell old man, no, I'm sleeping tonight. I got time for that.
You heard me.
You heard what the Bible said. You're not supposed to forbid. But they're going to be trouble in the flesh. But as long as we keep Christ in them and pull from the energy from Christ, the marriage will work. Because both of you going to be afraid of God to go against his word. Y'all follow? That's why the Bible said, if a man fear God, you woman ain't got nothing to worry about. Because he going to stay according to the scripture. But the only woman that's going to have a problem with that issue is the Christianity woman. Because they're not looking at the God or the man of this Bible. They're looking at the way of the man that Esau set up in Christianity. A soft-spoken brother. A brother who don't stand up and set his household in order. But the Israelite brothers who fear God and walk in the ways of God, he going to correct his household according to the scriptures. From there, go back to Sirach 37 and 12. Actually, no, bad yet, because I just speak on right here. It says, trouble in the flesh. Jump up to verse 3. No, I think it's chapter 3 and 5. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I think it's verse 3. Start at verse 3.
3, 5,
7, chapter 7.
That's the deliverance.
Yes, go to 7 and verse 3. Start at verse 3.
7 and 3.
This is why you're going to have trouble in the flesh in some cases.
The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 7 and verse 3. Let the husband render unto the wife due benevolence, and likewise also the wife unto the husband. The wife had no power of her own body.
Say what?
The wife had no power of her own body.
No, read that again.
The wife had no power of her own body.
Read on.
But the husband, and likewise also the husband had no power of his own body.
Right here,
the wife.
Right here we see this way trouble can start coming into the flesh. Read on.
Defraud ye not one the other.
So you defile each other and you keep holding back from each other, read.
Except it be with consent for a time, that ye may give yourselves to fasting and prayer, and come together again, that Satan tempt you not for your incontinence.
For what?
For your incontinence.
And who going to do this?
Satan.
So you holding back, you allow Satan to creep in and start messing with your marriage. 98% of the time, this is where marriage issues start at. The other percent of the time is financial issues. Those are the two reasons you see a lot of issues fall in marriage and people separate. Because the wife, majority of the time be the wife, she want to put the lock on the key on the door. No, the only time you want to put that lock on there is let you fasten. Or you going through your cycle period. Or you pray. Or you already had kids and you gotta wait a percent of time before you actually have a relationship with that man again, because you're in your cleansing process. See, a lot of us didn't know that. Who out here know that? Raise your hand. See what I'm saying? A lot of us said he didn't give me Sirach 37. Speed this up a little quick. 37 verse 12 real quick.
And the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse 12. But be continually with a godly man.
This also go back in the scripture when you read when they said, if your husband surpassed, and for you to get married, you gotta marry someone among is in the truth. That was that going right back into continually with a godly man. You cannot say, oh, I'm glad he dead, now you go find me some brother out in the world. No, the Bible says you gotta continue with a godly man. Read.
Who thou knowest to keep the commandments of the Lord.
This brother got to make sure that he know to keep the commandments of God. You don't want to be dealing with a brother, like I said earlier, that do not keep no commandments, do not want to study the scripture, do not put no work in, trying to get us out of this captivity. Read.
Whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry.
So that word miscarry, that go into two concepts. The miscarry that we mainly know of is what, ladies? When they lose a baby. So I had to really look that up and find what this going into. God said, yeah, we understand, when a woman loses a child, that's a sad thing because you lost your child. That's sad. So I said, this thing gotta be talking about something else. Give me Numbers 5 and 11.
Numbers chapter 5 and verse 11. And the Lord speak unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, If any man's wife go aside and commit a trespass against him, and a man lie with her carnally, and it be hid from the eyes of her husband, and be kept closed, she shall be defiled, and there be no witness against her, neither she be taken with the manner. And the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be defiled. Or if the spirit of jealousy come upon him, and he be jealous of his wife, and she be not defiled, then shall the man bring his wife unto the priest, and he shall bring her offering for her, the 10th part of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil upon it, nor put frankincense thereon, for it is an offering of jealousy.
So we see right here, a good brother in his mind thinking that his wife is messing around with another. And he's jealous about that. There was a law put in place for this stuff. When I saw this, I said, this is crazy. There is a place set up for jealousy? If I feel that my wife cheat around me? Let's read on.
An offering of memorial, bringing iniquity to remembrance. And the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. And the priest shall take holy water in an earthen vessel, and off the dust that is in the floor of the tabernacle, the priest shall take and put it into the water. And the priest shall set the woman before the Lord, and uncover the woman's head, and put the offering of memorial in her hand, which is the jealous offering. And the priest shall have in his hand the bitter water that causes the curse. And the priest shall charge her by an oath, and say unto the woman, If no man have laid with thee, And if thou hast not gone aside to uncleanliness with another instead of her husband, be thou free from this bitter water that causes the curse. But if thou hast gone aside to another instead of thy husband, and if thou be defiled, and some man have laid with thee beside thy husband, then the priest shall charge the woman with an oath of cursing. And the priest shall say unto the woman, the Lord make thee a curse, an oath among thy people.
Where you
21.
at?
When the Lord doeth make thy thigh to rot, and thy belly to swell.
So let's get a couple pictures what it's talking about. I want y'all to look at this right here. Yeah, give me that route at number 3 first. Let's move that up. This right here is the curse that will come upon a woman if she was messing around with her husband. When the priest had already prayed and put this curse upon her, this right here will come on her body to show that she was messing around with her husband. That's the judgment for behind right there. Now you imagine how many women today who will actually pop up on you will see it. Go to the next one. You see it right there. You're right there. This right here. So you think a lot of women will actually be wearing dresses? You know they're going to be wearing all the long dress on the cover that nasty crap up. But that comes for a woman who was messing around with her husband, and her husband had a jealous spirit on him, feeling that, I believe my wife messing around with me. But he had no proof that she was doing that, so he had to bring her to the priest for the priest to get put a curse upon her and see if she was messing around. So they dropped that. Go, read on.
Verse 22. And this water that causes the curse shall go into thy bowel to make thy belly to swell.
So they also I couldn't get the picture. I thought I had about misplaced it. But her stomach was swelled up. Like she was really praying. So the Most High gonna make sure everyone know that you are. So you know once this curse come upon you, you know what's gonna happen, right? She's gonna get stoned to death. Read.
And thy thigh to rot, and the woman shall say, Amen, Amen.
Now wait a minute.
So this woman had an opportunity to admit that she messed around, but she don't have to go to this. Or she could say, nah, I'm not taking that. So you know if she said, nah, I'm not doing that, then you already know she messed around. That's that guilt trip. So both ways, you really at a losing state. Because you admit that you were messing around, you gonna get put to death. If this curse show up upon you, you're gonna get put to death. So at the end of the day, you had to know when to charge. The best thing for you to do to be faithful.
You're right.
Unless this is gonna happen. You know.
Verse 23. And the priest shall write these curses in a book, and he shall blot them out with the bitter water. And he shall cause the woman to drink the bitter water that causes the curse. And the water that causes the curse shall enter into her and become bitter. Then the priest shall take the jealousy offering out of the woman's hand, and shall wave the offering before the Lord, and offer it upon the altar.
So give me that definition of
Dictionary definition for miscarry: to fail of the intended effect, not to succeed, to be unsuccessful, to suffer defeat, applied to person or undertaking, and to think we say a project, scheme, design, enterprise, attempt has miscarried.
And this right here come out of the KJV dictionary or miscarry. Now give me the other one we just had earlier about the rock.
1. The bitter water causes her belly to swell and her thigh to rot. The belly swelling signified the child that should have been her husband, had she not been in adultery. Her thigh rotting was a witness she had broken the wedding covenant. The woman had sinned against the thigh witness of their marriage covenant.
So the same way you spray your leg open, the Most High put the curse right there. That's crazy. To show proof that you was unfaithful, you broke the covenant. So you imagine if that was still not. I think so be 98% of what they right now.
Chapter 5 and verse 29. This is the law of jealousy, when a wife goes aside to another instead of her husband and is defiled.
Read.
Or when the spirit of jealousy cometh upon him, and he be jealous over his wife, and shall set the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall execute upon her all this law. Then shall the man be guiltless from iniquity, and this woman shall bear her iniquity.
So right here, this is going into the fact of a man becomes jealous that he feel like though his wife is messing around. So the Most High give that out there, but like Brother Eli said, you got stuff today now to really tell if a woman was messing around, because like there was a TV show I should have downloaded that this family came up. He started saying, "Oh, that baby ain't mine. That baby ain't mine. That baby looks white and look all this kind of stuff." So as they carry on in the courtroom, the dude, what's a different TV show? The court show. The dude said, "Well, I got a feeling it was my child because my daddy is biracial. He is white." So after the mama based all this came up and down and the sister called this woman all kind of name, the test came back 100% that baby was his. So the mama and them got mad, talking, that bull is walking out the courtroom and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, these is stuff that the Most High God said, you know what, Israel, y'all wicked, y'all dirty. So I'm gonna put stuff in place just for cases like this right here. Because you got weak behind daddies trying to creep out, don't want to take care of their responsibility, don't want to leave the bag all on the parent, on the mother, and don't want to take care of the child. Or you got that woman thinking, oh yeah, I want to stay with him because he got money, he can help me take care of this kid, but I'm gonna get me a child from somebody else. No, the Most High said, I got everything set up. I'm gonna call y'all sent out. From there, let's get the book of Tobit.
Chapter 2 and verse 10. And I knew not that there were sparrows in the wall. And my eyes being open, the sparrow muted, warmed down into my eyes.
Tobit got a bunch of hunk of doodle in his eye from some birds. Read.
And a whiteness came in my eyes, and I went to the physician, but they helped me not. Moreover, and Archias did nourish me until I went into Emisis. That is.
What's that?
And my wife Anna did take woman works to do.
So after Tobit got blind that he couldn't really work no more, his wife took on a job. Now that's something right there, brothers. You need a wife like that. Some of the sisters in these days of time now, they feel like though I ain't take care of no man. They would leave you hanging. You will make sure when you prove a sister that you so far disabled, you got a sister that's gonna be able to take care of you. And don't grump over that stuff. Read.
Verse 12. And when she had sent them home to the owners, they paid her wages and gave her up also beside a kid. And when it was in my house and began to cry, I said unto her, from whence is this kid? Is it not stolen? Render it to the owner, for it is not lawful to eat anything that is stolen.
So Toby thought his wife stole that stuff. Not knowing that the reputation that he had, the people, give her a goat to take back home. So Toby being all paranoid and scared, and most women, they like, what? I got this, you trying to blast me out here? Sister, you gotta realize, listen to how Anna kept her calm and explained to her husband why she got what she got. Read.
But she replied unto me, it was given for a gift, more than the wages. Howbeit I did not believe her, but bade her render it to the owner. And I was abashed at her. But she replied upon me, where are thine alms and thy righteous deed? Behold, thou and all thy works are known.
So Anna had to explain to her husband the good deed that he did and how people honor him and respected him, and they give her more than what her wages was actually worth to give unto her husband to take back home. But Toby, being his mindset, because you got to remember during this time, Toby was in captivity too. But the work that he carried, what he did, the people honor him by that, and they give it unto his wife. But his wife did not wear all the key, what I'm trying to get at. His wife did not wear all key, cursing him out, telling him, and this and that. No, she explained the situation, why she got what she got. But in the concept of this whole story as well too, even though her husband was being disabled, she didn't say, I'm out. No, she got a job to maintain that house. How much y'all women here will actually do that?
Oh, suck it up.
Oh. Just messing with you.
Another thing to add to that, to pick up out of that story, nowhere did she dang on got to the point where she started usurping authority over him too, because you got some women that do that. Because now that she making more money than you, she now think that she can run the dang house. She wear the pants. You didn't read that in that story at all.
That also go back to a wife. You might get a job that pay way more than your husband, but you should never think make your husband feel a little than nothing, because at the end of the day, your money is still his money too. Sirach 10 and verse 12.
The book Tobit, chapter 10 and verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents, that I may hear good report of thee. And he kissed her, and also said to Tobias, the Lord of heaven restore thee, my dear brother, and grant that I may see thy children of my daughter Sarah before I die, that I may rejoice before the Lord. Behold, I commit my daughter unto thee of special trust, wherefore do not entreat her evil.
So right here, he said, don't treat my daughter with evil. But in the beginning, when you listen to it, it said, and he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents. So when your woman get married to a man, your new parent become that man parents. I mean, your husband parent become your parents. This right here was never taught in the black community. So even when we was out there in that wicked world, you know how a lot of people are going to the wife parents, them cook out the house and all that for those paying holiday. Really, you're supposed to be going to that man mother's in them house, because that is your new parents now. Read it again.
The book Tobit, chapter 10 and verse 12. And he said to his daughter, honor thy father and thy mother-in-law, which are now thy parents.
Which is now thy parents. Not saying that you rejected your parent, but this is the parent that's gonna be taking care of you now. So when this man have an issue, he better go back to his parents to try to get help to bring it back to you. Or you have an issue, you better go to his parent. Because why? You try to make sure your mind is after who mind? His mind. You're not supposed to be going back to your parents to try to get advice. Because guess what? Their advice always going to be according to your mind. So you want to be your mind according to your husband's mind, you got to actually go to his parent to find out what do he don't like or what do he like. That fall back up to the aged woman too. For you can get to learn your husband. That's in the process of proving that man. That's the same way as a man, who he got to go to get marriage from you? He got to go to your father, right? So he would be going to your father to learn who? You. That in the same process in proving. But these stuff right here would have been taught to us, a lot of the drama in the marriage would be already done with. But nobody ain't teaching that. But now you know, we got to follow that.